So in today's video, we're going to be talking about online gambling and how this is going to impact your mortgage application. Before we get started, just a little bit about me. My name's Tony Flynn. I'm the director of Tony Flynn Mortgages, a mortgage firm up here in Scotland. In this video, we're going to be talking about online gambling and the impacts on your mortgage. Anything that we discuss in the video will be discussed in the contents of the video as well, in the description. So if there's anything specific that you want to listen to or you want to watch, check the description out and you'll be able to click on the relevant chapters and it will take you right there. If you prefer to read the contents, there'll also be a link to the blog post in the description as well. But today we're going to touch on a few things. We're going to look at how lenders are viewing online gambling and how that impacts the mortgage application, and how responsible gambling in mortgages actually works, because if you're online gambling, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be getting a mortgage. One of the other things that we'll touch on is the importance of not borrowing money to gamble online. Really important that doesn't happen. Also, there'll be a separate topic on how gambling impacts your mortgage application, how to improve your chances of getting a mortgage if you are gambling, how mortgage brokers can help, and we'll finish off with the common myths about online gambling and mortgages. So just to crack straight into it, how lenders view online gambling and activities around gambling. So lenders do see this as a key potential risk in regards to financial stability and ongoing maintenance in mortgage payments. If they see online gambling throughout your bank statements quite frequently, then they could decide to decline the mortgage application. Sometimes it's not about how much you're gambling, it's about the frequency of it, it's about the size of each transaction. It can be consistent losses, it could be a sign of financial distress. There's lots of things that a lender will take into consideration. £5 here and there you might not think is a big deal, but if you're using your overdraft facility to do that, lenders don't like it. So be mindful when you are applying for a mortgage with your online gambling if it's there on your bank statements. But you can do online gambling as long as you are being responsible. There's a difference between doing casual bets and being responsible when you're gambling to having problematic patterns, like you'll bet a fiver, tenner, £20, £30, all in the space of the one day, trying to chase the money that you've just lost. If you're gambling at the weekend, £5, £10, £20, whatever it is, and it's consistent every weekend that you're doing that, it's not impacting your spending, you're not using borrowing facilities to do it, then generally speaking, a lender will class that as using your disposable income. Things to watch out for: keep it to small amounts. Don't go gambling all of your disposable income away and chase the winnings on it. Avoid regular large deposits. So if into your online gambling account, the lender's saying £20, £20, £20 every single day, then that could pose a problem. And also, don't forget, don't use lending when you're looking at mortgages when you're online gambling. Things like overdrafts or transferring from a credit card would come into that. And it's really important not to be doing that, because what the lenders will see that as is the fact that you're borrowing money to gamble. It's just a big no-no when it comes to mortgages, and it's a huge red flag for them, and it's really high risk, because at the end of the day, they're giving you the mortgage in order to buy a house, which is a lending facility, but you're using other lending facilities and you're using that money to go and gamble. So yeah, they just don't like it. So I would be avoiding that if you can. Gambling can have a huge impact in the application, and especially if it's inconsistent or reckless gambling, can still have an impact. So if you're going and you get paid once a month and you fire £200 straight away into your online gambling account and you don't leave yourself any disposable income, lenders don't really like that. Occasional gambling can be red flags as well. If it's using your overdraft facilities, or if you're missing payments, you're using payday loans, anything like that can impact your application as well. So if you're using a payday loan and there's online gambling seen in your bank statements, the lenders are looking at that you can't manage the finances that you've got. And the reason behind that is because of online gambling, and that can cause a problem. So you want to be avoiding that. But there are ways to improve your chances of getting a mortgage if you are gambling. Keep the amounts low. Make sure that they are not in excess of what your disposable income is. Avoid using credit cards. Avoid using your overdraft facilities, payday loans. all of these kind of things, and you should be okay with it. There's lots of different ways to get mortgages nowadays, and online gambling shouldn't put you off applying for a mortgage, but you should certainly explore how you're managing your finances and have a look at it. If you are struggling with debts, there are charities out there that can help as well. But just to finalise, responsible gambling, avoid using overdraft facilities, credit facilities, transfer money from credit cards. The key thing when applying is to be transparent. You don't want to wait till the final moment when your mortgage broker ends up asking for your bank statements. You want to be upfront about the levels of online gambling that you're doing. You don't want to be saying that you're gambling £5 when it's really £500 or £5,000, which I've seen in occasions where I've seen bank statements. You really want to be upfront, and you want to be seeking the help if you do need it. But as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to fire them over. And if you do find this useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and give it a share.